Hello everyone, this is Leaf on the Wind here, now I'm bringing you Victoria 2. You should notice I'm doing this again. I'm doing this again because they have released version 3.7.1. So it's a stable release now, updated for a few changes, lots of bug fixes, all kinds of fun stuff. Now, before I've done custom nations and that kind of stuff, my first one was the custom Russian nation. And honestly, we're doing it again. Why are we doing it again? Well, it's 3.7.1. I've never done a vanilla modded version of Russia. Might as well at this point. Plus, I got to do some fun stuff with this. So, we're going to go ahead and play as Russia. So, those of you who have watched my channel before will know that I have done this before. Those of you who have not watched my channel before, welcome! Welcome to my channel. Let's all have a great time. Also, I'm a little bit sick right now, but whatever. Now, getting into this, the very first thing we're going to do for Russia is get rid of their frickin' fleet. We will save transports, but screw this fleet. It's a waste of money. It doesn't do anything for me. And also, Sevastopol, you are going to be where all my navy is located. So, let's get this together. So you notice I'll have 4 transports after that one sails around the entire frickin' planet, basically, to get to me. Get rid of... Well, that was smart. I just accidentally deleted those 2 transports. Oh well, now I gotta build some more. Alright, next thing's next. Let's focus on getting everything together. We're currently at war with Karsarka? Whatever. And Kakas Inma. Whatever. These guys are relatively easy, so we're gonna get... random cavalry that's running around. Get that together. You get a B for that. Let's see here. What were you? Okay. Get rid of these guys. At least the ones in red because they can't support additional units. And Poltavar is going to be where our army is going to get together. So all army units need to go there if they're any kind of useful military. What are you? Oh, Dragoons and Crusaders. Okay, you guys can come attack these guys. Let's see here. So, basically, if any of these guys have red units, disband those red units. This is a whole thing of cavalry. We're going to get rid of all of that. Disband the red units. Bring them all together. Red units. Goodbye. And this one at St. Petersburg, we're gonna get rid of the cavalry in, because we don't want cavalry. And I didn't delete the entire army. Good for me, because I screwed up on the other one. And then we have a random engineer sitting over here, so you get over here. Anyone else hiding out? Doesn't look like it. Alright. Alrighty, so those guys are all gonna get together at this point. So, because I deleted 2 of the transports, we're gonna need a total of 10 transports. And that means we're building 8 of them. There we go, 8 transports. Yay for me. Diplomacy-wise, nothing to be done there. Population-wise, because Russia is a whole bunch of serfs, basically, I mean, if we look at this, your workforce is half serfs. I mean, it's pretty bad. Our best option here is Kursk, to get some intellectuals in place. And, ooh, this is new. Is a colonial state. Hey, that's cool. Huh. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. That's new for 3.7.1. That wasn't there before. And then if we, who is it? You. Kazan. We need more intellectuals. Because we are in terrible shape when it comes to research points, if you see. So that's bad. Alright. Next thing next, political. No movements in place. We got some decisions. Options, tweak, change, game behavior from vanilla. Oh, wait, what? What do we have here? End crisis from the start. Wow. Alright, so that's some interesting stuff. But if we take a look at our decisions here, we have like create Romania, create Yugoslavia in there, enslave the serfs. We don't want to be doing that. That would be fun though. Peasant reform is what we really need to go for here to get the serfs out of there. And basically, if we get past 1870, we're going to get it done. But otherwise, we need to work on stuff that's going to end up getting us a lot of consciousness. Ugh. All the above below. Liberal, above consciousness 3, at least 3. Yeah, basically what needs to happen. Third Rome is an option. Russifying the Baltic states. And, oh wait, what are you? Oh, yeah, no, I remember you now. Okay. So there's a few things that can go on in there. We can also release nations, including Alaska, which is fun. There's a lot in here that can be released. We're not going to be releasing a lot of these, but basically if you release a nation here, they become a puppet. And if they can become a puppet, they are your puppet, and they will do what you say. So, moving on. Oh, wait, that's right. I need somebody who has an economic policy of state capitalism, and no official policy. Oh, sweet. They added a welfare policy area. And, well, anyway, we need jingoism for it. So, Westernization doesn't have it. They have laissez-faire, but the reactionaries do. So, we're going to switch over to Reactionary Party. That'll allow me to build factories. Then we pop into technology here. You'll notice up on the top, the negative 10% Army research, negative 5% Navy research, plus 5% commerce, plus 15% culture, and plus 5% industrial. Now, we have such a low intellectual level here and research points coming in. And basically, everyone's completely illiterate. Ideological thought is number 1. Basically, Russia has a lot of reforms to do. We're going to be sitting in the commerce and culture and in industry for a long time. We need to avoid wars at all costs because we will not have a military able to do it. Next, budget. Jeez, I love this thing. Alright, education all the way up because we need to make people smarter. Administration all the way up because we need to make more administration. Military spending all the way up because we have an army to feed. Tariffs all the way to the top because we need money. Tax the living crap out of everyone. And see if we can get by. Now, we might be able to do this because a lot of this is buying up some stuff that will be taken care of here soon enough. Basically by me just destroying stuff. If we take a look at the Great Powers list, we are currently number 2. That will not last, though, because we have no industry right now. That's something we're going to be working on here. Very quickly, Prussia will take us over, France will take us over, Austria might, and the United States will, but otherwise, this is what we're looking at right now. And production-wise, you see we have 0 factories. This we'll do this, we'll be filling this up here as we go, plus we have the ability for foreign investment. So yeah, like an example, we have no railroads. We have no nothing. Nothing's going on here. And we have a military option of 117 regiments to field out of the 68 we currently have. So we will be building some here, but not yet. We got a long way to go. So, very first thing, as a great power, we're going to need to start throwing points into stuff. So we take a look at, right-click on the United Baltic Provinces, throw points into them, because they're our puppet. They're our puppet. Finland's our puppet. Good old Finland. They're useful. Down here, Trans-Caucasus. They're our puppet. And Abjul, whatever this is, they're our puppet. So those are our puppets anyway. Now, there's a whole mess of stuff that's going to happen in Central Asia here. Most important ones we want to control are these 4 right here. But if we can throw points into Afghanistan, Persia we're going to throw some points into, simply because. The rest of these guys we're going to shove a lot of points into. They're going to be constantly getting points. And I think I'm going to put points in Afghanistan just for good measure. I'm not super convinced I'm going to get anything out of it, but we will. Next, as we move more and more east. Qin Empire, China. Okay, so we need to put points into Tanatuva. We need to put points in Mongolia. Basically, every single one of these sub-states of China need to be somehow getting points, diplomatic points from us to try and get them into our sphere of influence. That will basically make it when I go to war with China, which will probably eventually happen, that I can take them at that point. Because there's also a thing here if I get Manchuria. Oh, which reminds me, they need full points in there. Manchuria into my sphere. There's a whole Russian district here that I need to get access. That is a decision I'll get here that I can do. So that's something we got to be looking on. Take a look at Alaska here. Alaska looks like Alaska in this barren hellhole of a place. That's fine. British North America, soon to be Canada. Mexico has a lot of the United States, and Texas is at war with Mexico, so standard stuff. As we move more south there, you'll see Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru/Bolivia. So you got Peru, South Peru, Bolivia, which is like a confederation country there. It doesn't really matter, it won't stay. These three, or more importantly, Venezuela and Colombia, are actually more powerful than you would think. Colombia because you get the Panama Canal, and Venezuela because they actually can produce a very powerful military. So these guys, if we look at the justification, we can make a puppet out of them. Just like what we have Finland as. So this is something we're going to be working on immediately, once we get the armies taken care of here, which shouldn't take too long. So, I'm putting points into both Venezuela and Colombia. Once the armies get a little more straightened out, I'll be making puppets out of these two, going to war, which is why I was building those transport ships. And yeah, good times. And then we have Africa. Ignore Africa for now. There's nothing in here that should interest Russia at this moment. You do have the Ottoman Empire here, which is actually this whole mess up in here. They're our ally currently, but this is actually Egypt, which is a puppet of the Ottoman Empire, which has this whole region right here. So this is going to become a hot mess pretty soon. We don't want to touch this. Sweden's our friend. They basically, unless they have to, they should never go to war with us. So leave them alone, is what it comes down to. And this whole mess that is Europe is just leave it alone, don't touch it. I don't want to mess with you at all, kind of thing. So, Russia has to stay out of wars for the moment, so that means staying out of Europe for the moment. Eventually, when the Ottomans start falling apart, the entire Baltic region will be an interesting spot to be, and if you really want to try and do it, you could try taking on Germany as Russia. I wouldn't recommend it. Germany's pretty freaking strong. So we're going to get going here. Speed this up a little bit. Now, you notice we're making a lot of money straight off the bat. Oh, Denmark, you are not going to be my ally. Alright, get these guys together. Gold is found! Yeah, precious metals discovered. Perfect. Alright, let's see here. These guys are all coming together. I gotta make sure they're gonna get separated properly. We only need 4 infantry in a standard military unit. Start of the game, standard military army. Standard army should be 4 infantry, 4 artillery cannons, and 1 Crusader. Crusaders are better recon units than anyone else, and that's what they should be used for. Alright, okay. Go ahead and get together. I don't care what these guys do, technically. Like, literally just go fight, be done with it. Like, holy cow, is he losing? What's happening here? Oh, they have a level 4 general. Okay. That would explain a little bit. I lost! Alright. I have a level 4 general. That hurt. Alright, let's get you guys together. Disband anything that needs to be disbanded. We got 4 artillery. So, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now we beat them and stack wiped them. That's what I want to see. Good. I'll let this guy get more organized. Yeah, I see he's just got his butt beat there. That was interesting. Maybe Leaf on the Wind should pay more attention to what's going on. Alright, so let's see here. I should not have any more military units hanging around. No. Okay, good. Alright. So, we got a lot of money coming in, which is very good, because we're going to be building a lot of factories. But, in the meantime, we're going to go into the trade here. We're going to do some manual stockpile stuff. Usually, you shouldn't necessarily have to do this. Oh wait, not wood. I need coal stockpiled. So I'm stockpiling iron, coal. We're going to mark them as full stockpiles up to 2,000. Lumber. And steel. Those are basic building materials. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and do wood anyway, even though it's not going to make a difference. Those are basic building materials. Oh, and cement. I forgot about cement. Basic building materials that's going to make it, if you have a large stockpile of it, the moment you put a factory down, it's going to start building. No waiting for anything. And you see that just plummeted us way down. So, let that build for a little bit. How are we doing on intellectuals? We're doing just fine. Alright, you guys, you're useful for something, I guess. Let's send you guys over here. Peace offer, annex, success. Now, you guys will notice I'm playing at speed 5 right now. I'm like the fastest speed possible. So that's how that's running. Now, if we look at our armies right now, we have a total of 8 semi-completed armies here. We're going to need 7 sets of artillery, so that's going to be 7 times 4, so 28. And we're going to need 8 Crusaders. So, if we go in here and just start building a whole bunch of artillery. 24 artillery built. And 8 Crusaders, so 2 total. Alright. So that's what's going to be building here. And in the meantime, while there's a building, we're going to get started here, justifying to make a puppet out of Venezuela. Now, the thing you're going to want to check, again, this is for people who haven't watched my channel before, you're going to want to make sure that no country here is friendly. If they're friendly, they can come in on the side of whoever you're attacking. And that's something great powers can do. So that's not fun if you're trying to take it over. Like, I want to make a small puppet out of Venezuela, and all of a sudden Great Britain's just like, I don't think so. Now, oh, FRCA. Here's the FRCA. If you looked at them before, they extended all the way down into Costa Rica. They're kind of falling apart, because that's what the FRCA does. They're not going to last, just so you know. Alright, let's get this taken over. Siege it down. So says Leaf on the Wind. That costs us 6 infamy. Now that is what's up here. Infamy. If that goes over 25, every player, every major player, actually I think that's every country, gets a CB to cut you down to size. Basically a free open invitation to go to war with you. That's something I want to avoid unless you are the most powerful. Even if you are the most powerful, that's something you generally want to avoid, is going over 25 infamy. Now, I've seen a lot of players do Russia, and you can do Russia. And instead of, like, you can just do Russia as a mad powerhouse. Like, if I mobilize, I would have 178 regiments. That's almost 500,000 men that would come screaming to my aid. But I have no military techs right now, and I do not want to go to war with the world. Especially at this point, like, if I go to war with the world, and Great Britain declares war on me, well, okay, that's a bad example because I could attack British India. But if the U.S. declared war on me, I would have no way to really get to them because I don't have a navy because I took that out to save money. That's not the way I play. I try not to necessarily do that. So that's why it is not here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you have a level 6 general. I love it. And he's getting pretty well beat there. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and put our engineer over here. Now, I put all my armies on Rebel Hunt. That's going to automatically hunt rebels as they pop. So if I get a rebellion going on, they'll automatically be hunted down. Sometimes you can use rebels to your advantage by forcing them to switch your government very easily. I don't do that normally. I don't have a reason to do that. Alright, there we go. So I destroyed his army. He's fully sieged down. We're getting rid of all these cavalry because there's no point to having them around. And we'll just piece this guy out. There, we are at peace. Thank God. Alright. Alrighty, and we got armies being built now. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Make puppet has been completed, so I have a CB to make a puppet out of these people. Oh yeah, I need to take you. You stay right here. There we go. Oh, what is this? Potential spectacular, unique, mostly unknown science, vast species, uncharted land, untold affluence. Oh, yeah, we're going to send an expedition. Of course we are. Why not? Alright, so, my CB... Oh, I lost a general. He died in battle. He died in the wilderness. Poor him. So if we take a look at Venezuela and right-click on them, we now have an option to declare war. And so, under here we have a Casus Belli, CB, to make a puppet out of Venezuela. And that's what we will be doing. You see, expires in a year. So you got 1 year to do that. That's all you got. And that's fine. That's more than enough time to get everyone together, get this stuff done, and go from there. Let's see here. That's all. Wow, you guys are... Huh. That's... Oh, I must have lost a lot more soldiers from that than I thought. Okay. That's a problem. My brand new soldiers are already dying. Oh, what do we got? The Caucasus War. Oh, yeah, this is my annexation. Basically, the Caucasus are not too happy that I've taken over. And so if you look at this, gain 9 militancy for all this stuff, RGO output, this is all bad stuff. Basically, it's like my entire place just falling apart there. Alright, so I've already lost some artillery for this. Because I don't have enough people to support those units, which is not super good. Let's see here. Are the Crusaders building yet? They are not. Oh, they need canned food. Okay, that's again one of these trade things down here. Let's see here, right here. So they'll get it soon enough. They'll start building, and we'll be good. Alright. While we are waiting, we're going to get started on something. So if we take a look at the regional map mode here. Alright, that's the individual states at this point. So, these 5 provinces here are in a single region. We took out the RGO. You'll see wheat being produced here, coal here, coal here, coal there, and beef there. So, this is a generalization not needed for every single country, but as a generalization, every region in the beginning should get, if they have a high population, which I know these ones do, because if we take a look at... where's population? Population density. See, that's a very high density. They have almost 400,000 people. Here, a little higher, and a few other places that are higher here. So these high population areas are probably going to have craftsmen. And so what we want to do, this is why I have state capitalism turned on. Go in here, give them a glass factory. A glass factory, daily output maximum 25, requires coal as an input. And it needs 10,000 workers. They have none available. That doesn't matter at this point. So this is going to cost me about 11,000 to build, which is fine. So, take a look at the factories here. There we go. It's now building a glass factory. A glass factory paired with a liquor distillery in this case. If you have fruit being produced in the area, you're going to want wine instead. But glass plus wheat equals liquor, and that's a good thing to sell. This is going to cost about 15,000 to produce. So we got those two going on. So we'll at least have factories in there that craftsmen can work when they come. And that should be built in basically every place you have. So example here. Actually, let's move population-wise. So we're going to move into this region now, Kursk, which is one we're actively making intellectuals in, encouraging that. So if we take a look at their RGO, they don't have coal, and that doesn't matter. They have wheat. So again, glass plus liquor. And actually, I should point out, I should put in here also a cement factory. Very cheap, $4 grand, but it produces cement from coal. Again, need machine parts. So that ate up about 50 grand. So that's going to be some very basic level industry that I can start out as. Oh, great. Rio Grande defaults on its loans. Fantastic. There's a few options here. I always go with this one just because it's the least detrimental to me, personally. And I really, honestly don't care if they pay their loans back. I'm going to get enough money from taxes and tariffs at this point, because I'm taxing the living crap out of my people, that I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, Crusaders are now being built. Good. Basically, I need a Crusader in this army. And then we're good to go there. Oh, the Ascension of Queen Victoria. And Turskais, one of the most influential writers in modern Russian literature. Oh, I died, but that gives me prestige. Good for him. So Queen Victoria has arisen to the throne. Good for her. Life is good. And so yeah, Queen Victoria, we're looking at the beginning of the British Empire under Victoria. Victoria's Empire. Alright, come on guys, let's go. So, we have these two factories here. You see we only have 4 craftsmen in here. Doesn't matter. As craftsmen get involved, they're just going to go into these factories and work. Now, basically, this is basic industry. As we get farther into the game, I'm going to have an area that's basically producing all steel, steel into tanks, and like specific military lines if I can do it properly. Sometimes this gets a little hairy, depending on what government you can be forced into. And I say forced in a loose terms. You always have the options. You can change it and change it in ways that would be interesting, but it kind of reacts to stuff. So I try to have it in such a way that I end up, hey, Crusaders. I end up with at least one specific line for planes, one specific line for tanks. Let the AI deal with the rest, which is why I went with state capitalism, because the AI will do that. So, this is actually a better example. We can't make engineers yet because they require military tech, but this would be a standard starting army right here. 6th Army. I'm actually going to rename that for my Patreons, and if you guys want to support me on Patreon, go right ahead. Any game I play where I can rename things and add names to stuff, I'll start at, if you donate at the $1 level and above, I will be adding, I'll make it so you guys, whatever username you are, will be going in. So this will actually be renamed here once I get a list of my Patreons, which I forgot to get before I started. Woohoo! Forgot to get. But anyway, the link will be down below and at the end of this video if you want to support me. And we can go from there because, you know, it's fun to support things. But anyway, this would be a standard army. 4 infantry, 1 engineer, 1 Crusader, and 4 artillery. And that gives me 100% recon and siege or 100% recon, 100% siege efficiency, and relatively slow at 4 kp per hour, but whatever. You guys are going to go attack Venezuela. Go nuts. This army, on the other hand, is missing an engineer, but we can't make engineers. So they're going to become border guards at this point. I like stacking the border, even though it really doesn't make a difference when you get right down to it. Especially you don't plan on fighting wars in Europe. If you plan on fighting wars in Europe then or anywhere else, yeah, you're going to want everything where it is. But if you're not, it really doesn't matter. Now, I just noticed... Oh! That's a 30-minute mark. Okay, I shut that thing up. Alright, so... These two countries are at war, and these are two of the ones I care about. Okay. Awesome. And I see Afghanistan took out a chunk of him. That's fine. Basically, this makes it... if I puppet Afghanistan at some point here, this makes it so I could block British incursions into my area. I'm not too worried about that right now. That can be an issue for another time. Not going to worry about it at all. So, we're going to send this block of 30 over to turn Venezuela into a puppet here, which I only have until December, so I got to get moving on that. We'll end it here for part 1. And when we come back, we're going to make a puppet out of Venezuela, then a puppet out of Colombia. Finish up these armies here and get ready for the research bubble that I'm hoping to get hit into. Like I said, it's a relatively slow start for Russia unless I'm doing some massive military campaign. I'm not doing that yet. But if you guys do enjoy and like watching this kind of thing, be sure to hit like on there and subscribe and enjoy and go back and watch all my other Victoria 2, which I've been fairly addicted to for the past year or so. So something's gone very long with me. So I will see you guys again for part 2. Before we do, let's take a look in the newspaper here. Second Great Awakening. Guys, Congo goes to war. That's one of the central ones. That's probably what happened down here. Civil War in Central America. This is a Federal Republic, FRC, falling apart. There. Peru went to war. Democracy in America, because, of course, there's democracy in America. Caliphate goes to war. Modern coal trade. Arc de Triomphe has been built. Treaty. The United States is our best friend. Of course they are. Afghanistan goes to war. Yay. Afghanistan expands. The fears of France. Yeah. We need to fear what's going on in Russia. Slavery debate has picked up in America. Armistice signed in victory. The war between the Russian Empire and the Caucasus. Oh yeah, so I defeated the Caucasus. And Norway fears our might, as they probably should. United Kingdom fears our might. That's interesting. I don't know why. Canadian rebellion. The Canadians have rebelled. Oh god, I love it. It's actual history too. Queen Victoria rounds. Krakow fears we are coming. Oh, yeah, by the way. Krakow is a single little place right here. They are a fun country to screw around with if you really want to mess with some people. But anyway, so yeah, that's the newspaper. That's the latest. Okay. Show me the dang thing. Okay, there we go. Revolution in Uruguay. Queen Empire's relations. Okay. So yeah. This has been part 1 of my Russia Empire campaign. Life is good, and I'll see you guys again for part 2. Later.